In the headlines, 2 men are charged after being involved in an altercation at a local nightclub. Recently, Rocky Mount police say they've made several drug arrests in the area. And in an effort to keep the party going, an area man allegedly encourages partygoers to target police. That's in today's crime report. Also, is corporal punishment for our area students outdated? These stories and more coming up on NewsBreak starting now.
From WHIG-TV, this is NewsBreak 31. Now, here's Marie Torres.
Hello, and thanks for tuning in to WHIG-TV NewsBreak, your voice in the community. I'm Marie Torres. First up is breaking news. There is a pro-jobs campaign being launched in the area. Today, organizers of the new NC Jobs announced an aggressive campaign to bring Sanderson farms to Nash County and encourage new job creation in a region hard hit by lingering recession. Here's some of our coverage of today's press conference.
Is here to take questions.
First question, Skip, spell your last name for us, please.
C-A-R-N-E-Y.
All right, second question, you said that you live near the area in question,
yes,
and you are in favor of keeping the water clean.
Oh, absolutely.
Has there been any sort of environmental impact study done on behalf of the incoming plant?
Honestly, I don't know the answer to that question. I think some environmental studies are in progress. I understand that Wilson was trying to, had talked about doing a study.
John,
do you know the answer to this question?
What environmental studies are underway?
There have been a lot of preliminary environmental studies, and additional studies are now underway. In fact, there will be more as we go along.
What did the preliminary studies reveal about the impact of the plant possibly on the groundwater?
So far, the preliminary studies have revealed to be a negligible impact on those resources.
Negligible? Can you get more specific?
No, I cannot right now, but we'll, as we get those numbers, we'll certainly be revealed.
And again, I'm sorry, your name, sir?
This organization is a nonprofit organization, and it is created by business leaders as of February of this month. New NC Jobs is launched an advertising campaign this week to mobilize grassroots community support for the Sanderson Farms poultry plant and to focus attention on the taxpayer-funded campaign by the city of Wilson to oppose jobs for its own taxpayers. In our crime report, 2 men are charged after being involved in an altercation at a local nightclub. According to Rocky Mount Police, over the weekend, 21-year-old Kenneth Tyrone Pittman and 25-year-old Lamar Taylor were charged with assault with a deadly weapon, inflicting serious injury. It said Pittman and Taylor were at Club Rain on 349 Falls Road in Rocky Mount when they allegedly assaulted Dante Conway. It's alleged the 2 suspects hit Conway with a liquor bottle and then kicked him as he was already on the ground. Pittman and Taylor both received a $5,000 secured bond and were transported to the Nash County Jail. Conway was treated by EMS. In an effort to keep the party going, an area man allegedly encourages partygoers to target police. Early Saturday morning, while at a party in the Gold Rock Inn and Suites on 7688 North Carolina 48, it said when police tried to shut a party down for being over capacity, 20-year-old Jermaro Rakeem Baker got on the microphone demanding the crowd to injure police as well as yelling obscenities toward authorities. This happened as people were exiting to leave. Officers arrested Baker and he was charged with disorderly conduct. Baker was issued a $1,000 secured bond. Thankfully, no one was injured. Recently, Rocky Mount police say they've made several drug arrests in the area. One of those was at a home on 621 North Fairview Road, where 20-year-old Torres Darrell Ellis and 19-year-old Jarez Devontae Anderson were charged with several crimes, including possession of drug paraphernalia and possession of marijuana. Police received reports of possible drug activity at the home. Upon a search, police found 21.78 grams of marijuana, more than $1,000, drug paraphernalia, cell phone, and assorted documentation. The alleged activity occurred within 1,000 feet of a local school. Both Ellis and Anderson were held behind bars with bonds ranging from $3,500 to $1,500. And another area man is behind bars today. Rocky Mount police say they searched the home of 31-year-old Seco Bernard Petway. Inside the home on 510 North Vine Street, officers seized 1 ecstasy pill, 0.17 grams of cocaine, less than 1 gram of marijuana, $500, and assorted drug paraphernalia. Petway was charged with possession of cocaine. He was issued a $5,000 secured bond and was transported to Nash County Jail. When we return, should corporal punishment be in our schools and should it be outlawed? That's the talk among Nash Rocky Mount Board of Education members, and we'll highlight another community leader that is making an impact on the Black legacy of Rocky Mount. But first, here are your Black History Facts.
Black History Moment is brought to you by the Solomon Law Firm, specializing in real estate law and criminal defense. Call William Solomon Jr., Attorney at Law, for an appointment at 252-442-0348. The Solomon office located at 121 South Gray Street, Rocky Mount.
Here are your Black History Facts. Granville Woods invented numerous devices relating to the railroad, including a system of overhead electric conducting lines, air brakes, and a telegraph system that allowed communication between moving trains. Henry Hank Aaron broke Babe Ruth's home run record when he hit his 750th home run in 1974. He set a major league record with 755 home runs in his career.
You waited patiently. Now it's time. Clearance time at Davenport Honda in Rocky Mount. Hundreds of brand new Hondas, all tagged with the year's lowest prices, with savings up to $6,000 and a lifetime warranty on every vehicle. But hurry, because at Davenport Honda, these deals are the one thing that won't last forever. Davenport Honda in Rocky Mount, your dealership for life.
The Country Inn & Suites is your home away from home with a staff that always treats you as family. If you or your church or company has visitors, give them a great Rocky Mount welcome with a special discount on their overnight or extended stay. Not only is the Country Inn & Suites a comfortable place, we'll spoil them with fresh cookies and complimentary breakfast. We are filled with luxuries like an indoor pool, fitness center, and a guest laundry. The Business Center includes a boardroom, connection to high-speed internet, and catering for meetings is always available. Call me, Donna Chavis, at 252-442-0500 for a tour and or to set up your corporate rate. You're always welcome as family in the Country Inn & Suites, Rocky Mount.
Welcome back to WHIG TV Newsbreak. I'm Marie Torres. Is corporal punishment a thing of the past or a tool for the present and future of our local school systems? At this Monday's board meeting, the Nash Rocky Mount Board of Education discussed whether or not it will continue to allow some principals in the school district to spank elementary students. Some members argue that punishment is outdated and could cause legal ramifications if students have bruises from such spankings. On the other hand, some members argued it is a necessary tool principals need to keep in their toolboxes in order to keep their schools under control. Corporal punishment is a substitute to a 3-day suspension with parental consent. In a straw poll Monday, 4 board members voted to keep it, 5 were against the policy, and 2 remained undecided. The board will take up a policy for a vote at their next meeting in March. In other news, North Carolinians are once again pulling out more change to meet the steadily increasing price of gasoline. According to AAA Carolina, yet again, the price of regular gasoline this week is going up. Some of the lowest prices to be seen locally are $3.09 a gallon, up to $3.13 and more. In Raleigh and Charlotte, those prices are anywhere from $3.18 to $3.21 for a regular gallon of gasoline. North Carolina's state average is slightly lower than $3.15. And throughout the month of February, WHIG-TV is highlighting those who are making a positive impact in the Black community. Here's a closer look at one area leader's views on today's issues and his hopes for tomorrow. Today's leader is the president of the local branch of the NAACP and serves as a city council member for the city of Rocky Mount. Besides his work in local government, he's consistently been outspoken on a number of issues affecting the Black community, one most recent with the possible serial murders of numerous local Black females and how more needs to be done to solve their cases. Our leader of today is none other than Councilman Andre Knight in his own words.
Prior to that, in 1898, we had many African Americans that were represented at all levels. City council, you had aldermen, you had Blacks in the state legislative and at the federal level, and then after Reconstruction, and when during that time the Democrats decided to roll back the hands of time, and that's when the Wilmington riots back in 1898, when African Americans were killed and run out of town, and progressive whites, and then it was, I think, was nearly about 75 years before we had another African Americans being representative in the political arena. And so I think we have to look at it, you know, a lot of discussion about the Republican Party, and they haven't been in control since, you know, over 100 years, but we have to realize those were Lincoln Republicans, and now we have a new Republican Party. And we have to make sure now voting rights are being challenged with the ID. When you go to vote, you must show your ID. So we don't want to go back to the days of old when you had guess how many jelly beans in a jar and the poll tax. And so, you know, history repeats itself, and we don't want to repeat that ugly chapter in America's history. So those are two of the things I can think of, and another one, especially locally, looking at the economics. I think now we're battling between a company that's going to come here, that's going to bring over 1,100 jobs, and we're one of the highest, if not the highest, metropolitan area as far as unemployment. And you have people fighting jobs coming to North Carolina. So I think we have to look at where we are and where we come from, and not repeat history, but move forward and hope for the dream that Dr. King so eloquently said here right on this campus in 1962. I have a dream that all people are created equal. One of the things I'm hopeful for, the NAACP on February the 12th, which we'll celebrate our 102nd anniversary, and we're planning our HK on J, historic thousands on Jones Street, when we march from Shaw University to Jones Street to the Legislative Hall, and we present our 14 points. We don't want the governor, we don't want the legislator to balance the budgets on the backs of poor people and African American people, people of color. And so the mission of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People to ensure the social, political, educational, economical equality rights of all individuals. So we want everyone to be prosperous. We want everyone to have a sound education, everyone to participate in the democracy in electing whoever we want in office. And so I think that if we know our history, then we won't repeat the mistakes that have happened in our past. And I think this is the time that we need to be vigilant. You know, we was 2 years ago, we was very proud to have a first African American in the White House, but we can't stop there. That doesn't mean the glass ceiling has been broken, because we know at the federal level, but then most things happen at the local level where we still have racism that continues to plague and to haunt people. So I just want us to let people know that we are still relevant as an organization, and that we still need people to participate and help us continue to fight for justice. I don't think in the near future that the gains that we have accomplished, now we're seeing that they're trying to be rolled back. So I'm hopeful for a brighter future, a better future, that everyone will be treated equally and fairly. And so I'm still hoping for that dream that Dr. King spoke about in Washington.
Again, our leader of today is Councilman Andre Knight. We'll be highlighting others throughout the month, so stay tuned to see who's our next profound community leader. When we return, it's your look at the days ahead in weather and sports, but first, here are more Black History facts. Before Wally Amos became famous for his famous Amos chocolate chip cookies, he was a talent agent at the William Morris Agency, where he worked with the likes of the Supremes and Simon and Garfunkel. George Washington Carver, who made agricultural advancements and inventions pertaining to the use of peanuts, and Percy Julian, who helped create drugs to combat glaucoma, were the first African Americans admitted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame in 1990.
This Black History Moment is brought to you by the Solomon Law Firm, specializing in real estate law and criminal defense. Call William Solomon Jr. Attorney at Law for an appointment at 252-442-0348. The Solomon office located at 121 South Grace Street, Rocky Mount.
You waited patiently. Now it's time. Clearance time at Davenport Honda in Rocky Mount. Hundreds of brand new Hondas, all tagged with the year's lowest prices, with savings up to $6,000 and a lifetime warranty on every vehicle. But hurry, because at Davenport Honda, these deals are the one thing that won't last forever. Davenport Honda in Rocky Mount, your dealership for life.
When it's happening to you, you'll hear from us. WHIG TV NewsBreak is reporting on the news, issues, and stories that matter to you. Call us at 252-885-1814. Email us at marie.whigtv@gmail.com or check us streaming live at whigtv.com. We're your voice, ready to bring you the news.
The Country Inn & Suites is your home away from home, with a staff that always treats you as family. If you or your church or company has visitors, give them a great Rocky Mount welcome with a special discount on their overnight or extended stay. Not only is the Country Inn & Suites a comfortable place, we'll spoil them with fresh cookies and complimentary breakfast. We're filled with luxuries like an indoor pool, fitness center, and a guest laundry. The Business Center includes a boardroom, connection to high-speed internet, and catering for meetings is always available. Call me, Donna Chavis, at 252-442-0500 for a tour and or to set up your corporate rate. You're always welcome as family in the Country Inn & Suites, Rocky Mount.
Thanks for staying tuned. Now here's meteorologist Fred Holdsworth with a look at weather. Fred?
Hello everyone, time to take a look at our weather now and see what's going on in the lower 48. We had a cold front come through during the night and dropped our temperatures in 1 hour by 9 degrees. And that front will push on farther to the south by tonight. And we'll see high pressure build in from the north. Now that high pressure will hang on until, well, let's say Wednesday night, and then move offshore, and we'll get a return flow on the backside of that high, bringing up warm southerly winds, and we'll see our temperatures go back up into the lower 70s by Friday. Let's take a look at our forecast map and see what's going to be going on later on this afternoon. We have a frontal boundary. This is the one that passed through early this morning, right through here, with low pressure forming and moving along the front. This will tend to slow the forward progress of that front down somewhat. Rain will be located over the far eastern part of North Carolina. As you go a little bit farther north up into the Chesapeake and Delaware Bay regions, you'll see snow. Snow will also be found up in the New England states and northern Maine, as well as over Indiana and parts of western Ohio. High pressure and control over the central part of the country will give a rather pleasant but cool day over that part of the nation. And going back farther to the west, heavy snow is possible in the higher elevations of the Rockies, and rain will be found along the Pacific coast. Rain and snow mixed as you go inland into the Cascade region of Oregon and Washington, and some of that will be quite heavy in portions of Oregon and Washington today. Well, let's see what our forecast is going to hold for us today. We'll have a sunny sky this afternoon with a high of 50. Winds will be north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy with a low of 28 and a north wind at 8 miles per hour tonight. Sunny Wednesday with a high of 51, northeast wind at 6 miles per hour. Wednesday night clear with a low of 28. Winds will be light. For Thursday, partly cloudy with a high of 62, south wind at 7 miles per hour. Thursday night, we'll see a chance of showers developing with a low of 50. Chance of showers and maybe even a thunderstorm on Friday with a high of 71. Friday night, chance of showers with a low of 39. And for Saturday, sunny, a little bit cooler with a high of 58 and a low of 40 on Saturday night. Our high temperature yesterday, 75. Our low this morning was 42. And that's a look at your Rocky Mount weather. Now back to you.
Thanks, Fred. And here with us is Edward Green with a glimpse at sports. What's the latest, Edward?
Oh, well, we had some good stuff going on. We talked about yesterday on NewsBreak, which unfortunately you weren't here for, but you are feeling better, and it's good to see.
am.
So it's good to have you back on the news. But of course, we got state basketball playoffs starting up.
All right.
So as we told you yesterday on NewsBreak, the high school state basketball playoffs have started. Now 8 area teams from the region are set out to win the title. How many are left? Well, let's check the scoreboard. On the girls' side, in the 1A division, North Edgecombe defeated Mattamuskeet in convincing fashion 71-27. North Edgecombe is now 16-9 and will travel to 20-3 Southside in Chocowinity for round 2 matchups. In the 3A division, Rocky Mount beat Jacksonville 51-29, and the Griffons will host 17-9 Triton. And Northern Nash also picked up a win as the Knights beat Currituck 79-23. Northern Nash is now 20-3 and will face 19-6 West Carteret at home. As for the boys, it was a bit more of a rough go. In the 1A division, North Edgecombe lost at home to Perquimans 68-64, and they finished a season filled with hope at 21-3. Different story, though, for Rocky Mount Prep, as after sneaking in as a wildcard team, the squad beat Goldsboro on the road 52-46. Prep is 20-11 on the season, and next goes to 20-7 Riverside Martin in Durham. On the 3A side, the Bulldogs of Nash Central fell at West Craven 78-58. Nash Central finishes its season at 15-10. Christmas tournament champion and Big East tournament runner-up Northern Nash lost against Southern Lee 69-65. The Knights end the season at 15-8. And Rocky Mount took a positive first step in its title defense by blasting Currituck at home 91-43. Rocky Mount is now 20-7 and head to 21-4 Southern Wayne this Wednesday. And each of those games will be played on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. So there will be home girls games at Rocky Mount and Northern Nash, while the North Edgecombe girls and the other two boys teams hit the road. And Marie, just about 2 months ago, we saw Tarborough's football team repeat as state champions.
Okay.
And now we have the Rocky Mount boys team. They're just 5 wins away from doing the same thing. It would be a pretty remarkable accomplishment if they could do it.
Definitely. All right. Well, thank you so much, Edward.
Thank you, Marie.
And thank you all for tuning in to NewsBreak today. Join us Thursday as we continue to bring you news that's impacting our community. For WHIG TV, I'm Marie Torres. We'll see you next time.